21 Dreams. Tiny Lollipop climbs a tree.
Once upon a time, there was a very, very small girl called Lollipop. She was called Lollipop because she was really very tiny, a tiny little twig with a round face, like a lollipop. Lollipop always wanted to climb a tree, but she was so little that nobody would let her do it, for fear that she would get hurt. It wasn't just any tree that Lollipop wanted to climb. There was one in particular. She could see it far away from her bedroom window, and it had something red in it, blowing at the top. Sometimes she thought it was a kite. Sometimes she thought it was a plastic bag that had gotten caught in the branches. One day, as she was gazing at the tree, dreaming of climbing it, she realized, that red thing at the top, it's a dress! That bit of material flapping in the wind was a beautiful red dress, and it was tiny, probably just her size. Oh, how she longed to reach it. Lollipop, knowing that a beautiful dress just her size was waiting at the top of the tree, decided that this was the time to follow her dream, even if her family were afraid for her. So she snuck out and walked all the way to the tree. It was further than it looked from her bedroom window, but when she got near it, and as she looked up and up and up and up, she realized the tree was the size of a mountain. No one as tiny as her was ever going to get up there. What was more, the tree was surrounded by water. It was a tall, tall tree, all alone on a tiny island in a big pond. And Lollipop wasn't sure how she could get across. It seemed impossible, but she couldn't stop dreaming. So every day she came back and looked up and yearned for the red dress. After weeks of Lollipop coming to look at the tree, a little fish in the pond, who had noticed her there every day, swam up and said, "Maybe I can help." Lollipop replied, "I want to climb the tree. Can you help me cross this pond?" Fortunately, she was tiny enough to fit on its back, so she jumped on. Lollipop thought it had taken her as far as it could when it reached the shore of the island, but as it turned out, it was a flying fish. How lucky can you be? The fish leapt out of the water and started flying, shouting, "Hold on, Lollipop!" It went up and up and up, right to the top of the tree, and dropped her gently on a branch before waving its fin goodbye. At the top of the tree, Lollipop looked around at the view. She could see so far it made her breathless. Then, out of the corner of her eye, she saw the dress. She looked closer, and she realized underneath the dress were red shoes, and the dress was dancing. Or rather, the fairy girl wearing the dress was dancing. She'd been wearing it all along, and dancing at the top of the tree every day. But Lollipop hadn't noticed, because the girl was just the same green as the tree's leaves. The fairy, who was exactly Lollipop's size, smiled at her, and Lollipop began to dance too. And as she danced, she realized, the dress was never for me to take and wear, but it inspired me to follow my dreams. I can do anything, like climb a tree and dance at its top, even if I am so small.